And we are live. Let's see if we get anybody to jump in on this random late night conversation.
Yes, very random.
Very random. Hey,
Early
babe.
morning, late night conversation.
Hey,
Hey,
babe. So,
hey, Miss Brown.
hey, Mr. Brown, who ain't got my ring on. It's okay. But what we're going to do is, what is that I hear? Oh, that's me. I'm like, what is that I hear? I hear myself in the background. So, anyway, this is a live random late night conversations with the Brown. And we're going to basically just have some random talk, let you guys know kind of why we've been absent a little bit, but also if you have any comments or if you have any questions or any topics, anything that you would like for us to answer or talk about, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the comments section. Either myself or my husband would gladly answer. But so my husband is currently in South Korea, and he's been going for how long has it been now?
It's been about 6 weeks now.
It's been about 6 weeks now. Yeah. So that's kind of the reason why we've been a little silent on both YouTube and Facebook. But we just kind of want to talk about that, talk about some of the just the dealing with separations as a married couple, having that unconventional marriage. As most people may or may not know, we're a prior military couple. And so him being away is not something that we're not used to. But even as the years have gone by, it never gets easier. He's been out of the military, or he hasn't deployed anyway. And how many years? How many years has it been?
It's been 10 years now.
It's been 10 years since you deployed, like to war. But with his job, he travels 75%
Yeah.
of the time. So, of course, it's not anything new. But of course, most people don't know some of the struggles,
Hmm.
some of the strains that being separated can put on a marriage. And then there's some people who are married and live separately, like it's a lifestyle for them. So it's not to say that being separated doesn't work. It works for some people. And then some people don't have a choice, because of their careers, things that they do. But and then in that case, it would be us. So because I know for one, I don't like it when you're away.
Right.
You like being away?
Like initially, I like the feeling of being missed. I think
Mhm.
that's a dynamic that's sometimes overlooked in marriages and relationships, and that's why a lot of times it gets dry or it gets like you just get bored because you don't really miss your spouse if you see them all the time.
Yeah.
In that early stages of marriage, of course, if I go to work and I haven't been home in 12 hours, yeah, I miss you, but it's a different type of miss when we're not able to touch each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've kind of learned to embrace that because we've mastered the the art of leaving each other at the airport.
It's
Right.
hard.
I know you get, yeah, for years you would just get lost. You would have to have somebody to go with you because you'd be disoriented and take you extra minutes to get home. But for me, I think just missing you is not something I look forward to, but I do enjoy that feeling of missing you and you missing me because I think we get a greater appreciation for what we bring to the table for each other when we are together. So that's
Absolutely.
definitely something that if you are separated from your spouse for any period of time, embrace that feeling because it's necessary for when you do come back together.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the benefits of being having those moments where you're apart. As
Hmm.
I always say, when you're up close each and every day, in their face, in your spouse's face every day, you tend to see their flaws and their imperfections more. But when you're away, I don't focus on that. I miss those flaws and imperfections, in fact. And it's like, God, I just want you. I just want you here. It makes you appreciate having that time, with you versus when you're here, I'm like, oh, you getting on my nerves, okay, all right, bye, go somewhere. And now I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
it's not
Come
easy.
back.
Yeah, come back.
Come back.
And then you come back, I'll be like, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
And for us, that's something that we've gotten used to, but it's also something that I believe the Lord is trying to shift us from. He's preparing us to be with each other more over the last few years. He's been preparing us slowly but surely. And I can see with every time that you pass away, Lord, no, don't take him. Every time that you go away, it's like, okay, I miss you more. It's like, okay, I need him. I want to be around more. I've gotten used to it. And every time you leave, it's not easier for me to walk away. Like you said, whenever you have to go, leave from the airport or whatever, I do get disoriented. Like I remember when you first deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, I can't remember. And I left Iraq. Okay. And I left the post and I didn't cry. See, this is what military wives don't do. The strong ones anyway. We don't cry. Try to cry anyway, when our soldiers are leaving, because it's already hard enough for them, right? So we have to be strong. We got to put on our battle ready face and all that as well. So, but when he left, or when I walked away and got in my car, like I completely didn't know where I was, forgot how to get home. I cried. It was just me. So that was another thing I had to get used to. When you leave, it's just me. So like this time when you left, Maya was gone and I didn't have that, someone with me to support me. And I was in the house and I was just like, I'm by myself. I think that was the hardest part for me. And then, I would do something like, I remember the first time, again, back to when you deployed, I started folding your clothes. I just burst into tears. This time I was editing videos and I just burst into tears. And I'm like, dumb, why would you even try to edit this video with his face on it? Now making it harder for yourself, but it never gets easier as the time goes on. But definitely our benefits to being separated is I miss you more. I appreciate you more when I have you here with me. I'm not focused on your imperfections and your flaws. Like I am when you're here. What are some more benefits, would you say? And then we're going to talk about pros as well, since we ain't got nobody jumping in the comments. Let's talk about that. The benefits and the pitfalls of separation in marriage. So shoot, you go first.
So I think another benefit that we've experienced is growth apart, meaning like we're able to grow and self-evaluate within ourselves, because we have that alone time. Because when we're together, we're sharing these growth moments and we're trying to push each other and do these things like that. But when you're by yourself, it's kind of like, oh shoot, okay, I gotta kind of figure this thing out. And so I believe that's one benefit that you have to acknowledge and you have to take advantage of, because like for me, my focus when I get home is you and Maya, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever y'all need, whatever I need to do, and not to say that it's not the same here, but when I'm here, especially with the time difference, I'm able to, spend a couple hours to myself, and I'm just like, okay, do I read? Do I do I write? Do I listen to music? Do I watch a movie? Or do I just rest? And so saying all that, I believe the benefit is finding your rhythm without your spouse. Because our heartbeats, they beat simultaneously and together in harmony when we're together. But man, when we're apart, it's like hearing your heartbeat for the first time and you're like, oh shoot, like that's my heart. Like what am I desiring? What do I want to do to better myself? So when we come back, it's stronger, it's better, and so that's finding your rhythm apart from your spouse when you're separated.
I agree. And that can be difficult for someone who's not really, I don't want to use the word codependent, but when you're so used to being with your spouse, you don't know how to live as an individual apart from them. And I can kind of relate to that because sometimes I do feel like, okay, well, I got to wait for him. You know, I got to wait for my husband in order for me to do this. And in this season, I'm really noticing, and in past seasons as well, but more so in this season, I'm really noticing how God is pushing me and challenging me to do things that I normally wouldn't do because I'm waiting on you to do it with me. And whether it's, you know, putting together like this chair I'm sitting in, I had to put this chair together. Whereas I'm used to having my husband do it for me. I did a good job. I almost put a hole in the wall, you know, trying to pick it up, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting. I was like, somebody gonna help me. And then it was like, Takandra, you ain't got nobody. I mean, I could call my dad, but he's busy. So it was like, if you don't put the chair together, it's just gonna sit there on the floor and stare at you. Do it. So it stretched me. It's you being has stretched me in ways. You know, this time I'm realizing more than it has in the past, and I'm being forced to find a rhythm of my own. And I think that's important. You know, because even though we are one, we have to keep in mind that we are two, you know, individuals. And even though, you know, we have the same mindset and we have the same goals, we have, you know, one vision together. But I also have God has a vision and something for me, just like he has for you as well. And so I think that's important to be able to identify that and still work in harmony and in unity with your spouse, in addition to the things that, you know, God is nudging you to do as an individual. I think that's important. Of course, we're powerful, you know, together, you know, but by yourself, who are you? You know, what do you do?
Yeah.
Are you? And that's important. Yeah. So I've definitely realized that this time so far, you know, I'm just like, okay, I can take out the trash and not forget, you know, or just the simple things. It's like, people don't understand, like we've been married for almost 16 years and we've never had to really, what am I trying to say? Be single, right? We didn't have a single life because we got married at a young age. So sometimes being in these situations, it teaches you how to be single, but still have a marriage mentality. Like there are things that I have to learn to do as an individual. Right. So I feel like I'm single sometimes, but I know I'm married, you know what I'm saying? And that's a key component, especially for people who have unconventional marriages, you know, circumstances like us, is I have friends who understand, hey, we can talk, you can have me as much as this, you know what I'm saying? But when my husband get back, you know, I'm all his and you don't have that talk time with me, you know, so the dynamics are different in different seasons for us. I had a question for you. What's one of the pitfalls of being separated? Apart from the obvious.
Vulnerable, like okay, well, the vulnerability part, I think, plays a huge role because when we are apart, it's that much harder for me to protect you. And because we move and do a lot of things, you know, together, I don't have your vigilance, you know, to watch my blind side, you know what I'm saying? Things that I don't see because I'm not always coherent when I'm, you know, even in a foreign place, you know, as alert as a person that I am, you know, I don't always see my surroundings because when I am with you, I'm safe, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot different when you have to navigate this world without somebody, you know, that's going to hold you down next to you, you know? So I think vulnerability, and then I think another pitfall is the devil knows that we're separated. And so the temptations that you normally would be able to, you know, the test that you normally can pass when you're together, they magnify when you're apart. I'm going to go back to when you said, you know, you believe God is trying to elevate us out of this season of separation, you know, from year to year, month to month. I believe just on my part that I have to continue to pass these tests, you know, in those quiet moments, in those times where, you know, my thoughts and my mind veers off or whatever. I got to grow and go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not going down that route, or choosing not to hang out with certain coworkers or going to certain things and being okay in my space, because like you said, that single mindset, he'll creep that in and have you forget that you are married, and I think a lot of couples that I work around, that I've been around, they've fallen susceptible to that because of that vulnerability that they don't get to experience when they're home with their spouse.
Right. That's true. I had a question.
I know you wanted me to keep going. I was flowing.
Yeah, I wanted you to keep going. I like listening to you talk. Okay, sometimes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. Where the enemy is always looking for a toehold, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he can come in and wreak havoc and create a stronghold. But the test, that's where I wanted to go back. You said there are tests that we have to pass, in seasons like this. And I can only imagine how couples who are married and choose to live separately, I'm like, I don't know what that's about. But obviously, if it works for them, great. But I know the test that we passing, these tests ain't easy. They are not easy. And
Right.
with that, of course, takes intentionality, focus, of course, and just the willpower to want to pass the test, right? Self-control.
Yeah.
Self-control is a big one. Self-discipline is a big one. You got to learn how to deny your flesh. You got to learn how to deny yourself. You got to, learn how to put boundaries in place, healthy boundaries in place, because if you don't, the enemy is, as soon as he finds a cracked door, he coming in full throttle. Okay.
Right.
And we speaking from experience. This isn't something that, we just talking about. We've been down this road, before. Thanks to the military. Thanks to the military. So, and we've learned and grown a lot because of it, for sure. You got a question for me?
What is usually the hardest thing, or we're gonna stick with the pitfalls. I'm sorry, we'll stick with the pitfalls. What would be one of the biggest pitfalls for you as a wife, not having your husband around?
Who gonna kill these spiders? No, I'm just kidding. No, one of them. Yeah, that's a huge one though. Like, for real. Okay, when it comes to, I ain't gonna talk about it. One of the pitfalls. For me, it is this, like, it's the simple stuff, for real, no lie. It's like I forgot to take out the trash 2 weeks in a row. For me, that's a pitfall because I'm so used to you doing certain things around the home. So I forget, and then I'm beating myself up because you're not here to do it. It's the things that, okay, I can't hang this, or I can't, or if it's a spider and I need somebody to kill, it's like, girl, you on your own. You better kill that spider on yourself, okay? So it's the simple things like that. But if we want to go deep, I think you kind of hit a very deep one. I would say passing the test is a huge one. Okay. Another pitfall would be not being in constant communication can, be a problem if you're not communicating, because again, the enemy is always attacking unity, right? So one of the primary things he's going to attack is our communication. And with us, being in 2 different countries, 2 different time zones, it's like you're a whole 15 hours ahead of me, here. And by the time I'm asleep, you're getting up, or you're up and I'm asleep, so there's always room for the enemy come in and wreak havoc because we aren't in communication with each other on a consistent basis, because of time zone, and things of that nature. So for me, I tend to fall into a discouraging state. I don't want to say depressed, but I can get discouraged or I get lonely, and it's like, okay, I don't have you to talk to. So it's like I'm looking for somebody else to fill that void, to fill that space, apart from, me praying to God and talking to, our daughter and things of that nature. But it's that intimacy that you begin to miss, right? And communication is a huge part of intimacy. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's those moments where I feel very vulnerable, and it's like, well, I want somebody to talk to. And I ain't trying to, call and just talk to anybody, but it's like, I want my husband. And then when you're not available,
right.
you're working. So those are the things. And it's just like, it puts me in that mind state. Like sometimes like, oh, well, I wonder if he misses me, or maybe he don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I know you don't not want to talk to me, but it's just the thing that the tricks the enemy can play on your mind sometimes when it comes to that communication being so important. And you really don't realize how important that is until you don't have access to that person the way you used to. It's like, well, dang, I can't even talk to you, and then we let simple things, flip our mind. And it's just like, well, I'll remember to talk to you about this when we get a chance. And then when we get a chance, it's like we talking about whatever we can think of, and okay, I gotta let you go because you're tired, you gotta go to sleep, or you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's the pitfall is definitely not allowing the enemy to come in and just plant rotten seeds when it comes to communicating while you're away. That's a big one, because if I always tell you, if you don't talk to me, the enemy will. Right. If you don't talk to me, the enemy will. But thank God in this season, what I've noticed is he's given me people, friends who, and every season is different. Like last year when you were deployed, it was one friend in particular. And this season it's another. And not only that, but God has even, brought other women into my life who've been able to, check up on me and just be understanding, and just keep me in just keep my mind off not being able to talk to you as much as I'm used to. So it's really helped me in this season. I know you ain't got all that to worry about because you working all the time, right? Like you working, but me, but besides the little things going on, I have more downtime. So it helps me. Yep.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think it goes back to one of those benefits too, where I said finding your rhythm. For us, we are creatures of habit. So if I don't talk to you at this time, it makes you wonder, okay, well, what's going on? Or, if you don't get a quick, response from text message, you're trying to figure out, okay, well, I know he's at work, but what is he doing? And so you have to be able to navigate that. You got to be able to accept that, although I am accessible, I'm not, easily accessible. And then then I think for me, what I've learned is to kind of just let you do you. You know what I mean? Like not in a sense to do whatever you want to do, but I'm cool. Long as I know you good and you tell me you love me and we talk, that's enough for me. But then on the flip side of it, I gotta know that I need to put in a little bit more for you because you need more.
Yeah.
Right.
I do.
And it's not that you're trying to. Yeah, it's not so much that you're trying to steal my time, because yes, I need to rest and stuff like that. I'm working 12-hour days and stuff, whatever. But you're still a priority. You know what I mean? And so I have to always keep that in the back of my mind. Like, okay, them little 30 minutes of sleep could have been 30 minutes of, just you looking at my face for peace for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always the words. It's just the presence and being able to see each other.
Well, let's talk about how back to this communication and how sometimes the things we say can be insensitive.
Yeah. Sometimes my quick responses can be a little insensitive because you'll say, "Oh, I need you here," or "I'm not feeling this," and I'll be like, "Oh, you'll be all right."
Like you'll be all right. I'm like,
and I, when that happens. Well, one of the reasons why I think it just flows off of my mouth like that and in my mind is because we've been through this so much. It's almost like second nature, but it still has its effects emotionally. And sometimes you can overlook those effects emotionally because it feels natural. And I hate that it feels natural. You know what I mean? Like, me not being there shouldn't feel natural. It should always be an uneasy feeling, a unrest, a little bit. There. And so I do sometimes, and it's honestly, it's more for me because I'm be the one to be like, oh, and I don't be one a little weak. I'll be like, oh, I need my baby. So I just be like, nah, you're gonna be all right. We gonna be all right.
we gonna be all right.
And the older I get, the more, Lord Jesus, look, I be forgetting stuff. I just be like, what is going on? I walked out of here the other day, got all the way to my vehicle and didn't have my book bag. Like, who does that? everything I needed was in my book bag, and I'm looking for keys. I'm like, oh my God. So then I go back. And it's just little things like that. It's just, you be like, Lord, if my wife could say I wouldn't have forgot. Or when I make a wrong turn and you should have listened to the GPS, the little stuff.
Whatever, because when you leave stuff home, I don't be calling you. Like you open the garage, I'm like, "What you back for?" I left it. Oh, okay. I'm knocked out.
I know.
Nah,
I do it at home too. I know it.
well, that's good. That's good. What kind of advice would you give to not just military couples? Because we know, of course, our audience, we touch an audience beyond just the military people, but for those who have
Right.
circumstances in their marriages, where they aren't always together, what are some key tips you would give to help, keep that marriage solidified, to keep it solid during those moments of separation? What are some tips and advice you would give to, keep the passion burning and all of that good stuff?
I think the number one thing for me that I would tell anybody, especially husbands, um, keep the doors of communication open. Silence is not golden when you're separated,
Mm-mm.
right? And so um, I think I think you have to, like you said, be intentional, and do it on purpose. Like, make sure that, and it's not so much that you're checking up on me or anything like that, but if you are separated, anything can happen,
Yeah.
right? And so a simple text, I made it to work, or I'm headed to lunch, or it's little things like that to where you want to keep your spouse involved in your day as much as you can. And I know every situation is different. Some people may be in Iraq. Y'all ain't got, obviously it's the cell phones. Back then, we didn't have access to phones as much as we do now. And so even back then, the threat of being shot at and all kinds of stuff, bombs and all, whatever, you have to give them that ease, give them that word like, hey, I'm good. I know you ain't heard from me in a couple hours or whatever the case may be. So open communication. Your finances, have a plan before you leave. Because if you're making any extra money or whatever the case, if y'all not sharing accounts, or if you have extra accounts, learn to communicate with what you're doing, because the last thing you want to do is have either one, the wife go to the store and she ain't got no money, or the husband go to the grocery store to get food, and he don't have no money, and now that's a problem. And so be open about the financial goals and the things that you're doing financially while you're apart, um, especially if you have separate accounts, because I'm not a believer in separate accounts. We've never had them. We have, as we've gotten further along in our marriage, but early on, it's all one pot. I feel like we need to see what's going in and what's coming out. And it's not so much to control, but it's a sense of, responsibility over what you have, so that you're not leaving the other person hanging, out in the cold. And then, what I'm saying? Like, that's like my worst nightmare, for you to go to the gas station and you can't get gas and your light on because I done spent money on something that I didn't need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of military couples have dealt with those type of situations. I don't
Right.
know, if just regular couples who dealing with being separated go through that, but that's a great tip. Something that I'll go back and piggyback off of you with the communication is being intentional and making time. And that's just like us right now, even though like we totally did not plan to go live. But we knew we wanted to, because this is the only day he has off during the week. So it's Sunday where you are right now. And it's like early, it's in the morning time there, and it's 9 p.m. here where I am. And instead of just hogging each other, and taking this time just to communicate with each other on his only day off during the week, this is the only really downtime that we get. We decided to go live and just, share this conversation with our viewers and our followers as well. So being intentional about making time to spend with each other, even if you have to, share it with other people. In our case, that's what we're doing now. And instead of recording this video, we're like, no, let's just go live. Let's just have a conversation. You know, whether people jump on and listen to it, watch it or not, this is us being able to spend time together. And we chose to spend this time together this way. So that's just showing how intentional you have to be with making time for one another. Get it how you can get it, right?
Yeah.
Get it how you can get it. That's important. That's so important. But we will definitely, he's actually coming home. How many days it is? I usually keep track, but I was like, no, I'm just going to wait till December 15th and then I'm going to count down. Okay. Because all this,
it's about 21 days or so.
I'm like, okay, I can't keep. I don't even, with the time difference, I don't even know what the day is, what the date is, or the day. Okay, so I'm just like, just let me know when the 18th roll around and you'll be back. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll have some more content, of course. We'll have some more videos ready before he leaves out again. But was there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Mama on here, say hey to Mama.
Oh, hey Mama. Have my peach cobbler ready, please.
Okay.
With some butter pecan on the side.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about? I don't know how long we've been live.
It's been about 30 minutes. I think.
What's it like over there?
I think one of the challenges.
Tell us that. Like, what's it like?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I was gonna get to that.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I'm actually somewhere that I've never been before, overseas, as far as, you know, my job or the military. Korea is a different beast. I'll just say that. They culturally, they are, if you're not Korean, they ain't really trying to vibe with you unless they, you know, have been acclimated or introduced to American culture, as far as, like, you know, speaking English and things like that. But I'm in a city where I'm the only black person probably when I walk out in the streets. So I get a lot of stares. I get a lot of, you know, I've been denied service in a coffee shop. And it wasn't so much that I was black, it was so much that I was an American. So that's a different kind of discrimination when at home, you know, you hear stories about, oh, you can't come in this certain town or this certain restaurant or whatever because of the color of your skin. Well, it's my nationality here, meaning I'm just anything tied to America right now, they ain't trying to hear it. You see what I'm saying? And so, and it's been interesting because a lot of guys outside of my race have experienced it over here now. And so, you know, I've heard the stories, and I actually told one of my coworkers, I was like, now you see what it feels like. It don't feel good. It don't matter how innocent they are, it don't feel good being denied a service that you literally have the money to pay for. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so you have to, you know, just have to, I know you have to be courteous even when they're not. Because I am a guest in their country and anything can happen. I ain't trying to be snatched up. I don't have what's my man from Taken? I don't have a dad like that where I can call and be like, they got me. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be on the phone like, I'm gonna find them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to learn how to move. You gotta move with a purpose, you gotta interact, and it makes it so much harder too with these masks, right? Because my smile is my defense mechanism, meaning I can make other people smile when I smile because it brings that fear down. And just my Southern hospitality, you know, being raised in the South, obviously I'm going to open the door for you. I've had people look at me crazy because I was holding the door for them. The driving over here is okay. I've had to ask for forgiveness a few times because of people in they driving. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. My horn is getting worked over here. Okay, I'm not the blowing the horn type person. I don't like people blowing the horn at me. But if you blow it at me, I'm flashing the lights. I'm blowing the horn. I'm gonna let you know, like you were in the wrong. But that's been a challenge. And then the food, of course, they eat everything. and everything. I mean, cats, dogs, all that. So you have to be careful with restaurants you go in. Google Translate, for some reason, ain't working as as good as it did in Germany. So I've been Burger King, KFC,
Anything American.
McDonald's. I've been trying to stick to what I know, and their menus are even different. So, but a burger is a burger, no matter where you get it from. Hopefully,
Hopefully you ain't
I
eating
haven't
dog.
gotten sick or anything. So, thank God.
You over there eating Max burgers?
Lord, please. I had snails the other day, and I thought they were mushrooms. So,
Yeah, great. Don't
it is what
no.
it is.
Y'all might need to stay over there. How are they dealing with Corona over there?
One of the major cities just shut down for 2 weeks, and the military, because I work with the government, anything military shuts down, we're shut down as well. So there's a couple areas that we can't go, for the next 14 days. Uh, you have to wear a mask everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. So even though you don't see police presence, if you are caught without a mask on and the camera catches you, they will send you a ticket.
Wow.
Excuse me.
We don't
And
need no.
so
You coughing?
just having to be aware of that. Yeah, there's camera. There's probably oh no, there's probably one camera to every two people in this city. Yeah. So there's not many places you can go where you're not being watched.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
you better have your mask on. Take no chances. We don't need no tickets.
Oh yeah, I don't leave without it.
Yeah, that's
I don't leave
crazy.
without it.
Well, thank you for
I
sharing
tell
your
you this though, I don't have to ever come back here again after this.
Mama said she ain't cooking you no dogs and cats when you come back now. You see the comment?
Oh yeah, no, she can't do that. Yeah, I see it now. No, don't do that.
We didn't use that. No. Oh Lord, no. You said you tell us
Don't
what
do
now?
that.
You said what? You said you were gonna tell us what? Or did you say it? I missed it.
Sorry, we was having a little technical difficulties. I didn't hear you say it again.
Oh, you said you were trying to say something and I forgot, or I didn't hear what you were saying. So that was it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying that after this trip is over with and this job is done, like, I don't ever have to come back to Korea ever again. I'm good.
Yeah, you did.
I love y'all. Hey, much love, but I'm good.
Nope. Well, I think that's it. I don't have much else to talk about. Not on live anyway. You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
Mama said, love you, son. Please stay safe and come home.
Yes, love you too.
I love you too, Mama. I be feeling like a little stepchild.
The other day.
I be feeling like the daughter-in-law on this side of the family. Who does that? Like my side of the family treat him like he the son and I'm the daughter-in-law. It's okay though. I love it. My family know what's up. Daddy love you like a son. I promise you, my daddy.
I would have no other way.
I told Daddy the other day, I was like, I feel like I'm the in-law. Y'all treat him like he y'all's. I'm waiting for my comment from my mama to tell me she loved me. Like, for real. What's taking so long? I was serious. Is that it right now? Okay, there you go. Boom. Stay encouraged and keep doing what y'all do. Love you too, Kai. Love you too, mommy. That's all I needed. That's all I need. Just be reassured.
She like down the street. Calm down.
I'm good. Good. I'm all, secure over here. Okay. In these parts. I'm secure. But that's it.
Mm-mm.
That's it. We just want to jump on
I hear
just
you.
a random late night conversation. Well, it ain't really that late. It's late in some areas, but just a random conversation for us to have our followers and viewers know on YouTube that we're still here. But those of you who didn't know, we got. I think the last video we did before you left together, we told everybody that we wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
back in October, which is when you left in October, and we didn't need a whole announcement. I don't need all that. So that was the reason why we've been silent. We've been kind of quiet, is because we're not together. And although we were thankful for technology, we have the ability, just like using this platform, we have the ability to come together and do recordings. His schedule doesn't always allow it. So we took the opportunity, and I'm not going to, for one, y'all already know, for everybody that's going to be watching this, I know that we make sacrifices, to, add value to others' lives, but I value my husband's, I value rest. I value him being able to get his time to, take time for him. He gets one day off. So I'm not going to have him get up super early in the morning, and I'm not going to stay up super late at night just to, provide content for people. I believe that you have to learn how to rest in different seasons and not feel like you have to keep up, to stay relevant, just putting stuff out for the heck of it. We're not doing that. We're not them type of people. And I'm definitely not going to kill myself.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ask more of you or me than we have the capacity to give in certain seasons. And some people are understanding and some people are not. And it is what it is. That's why, we can appreciate loyalty. We can appreciate, those who stick with us through ins and outs, ups and downs, whatever the case may be. You have to be thankful for the loyal ones who just ride or die with you in season and out of season. And I think that's something that I pray most of our followers and listeners do implement in their own lives. Like, don't overkill yourself trying to put out content or, quantity content. We ain't talking quality content. We're just talking about quantity. Like, we live in a world, in a society right now where it's just put out so much. And it's like, well, what are you putting in? What are you doing? How are you resting? You can't pour from an empty vessel. And even though this conversation tonight may or may not help somebody in some type of way, like I said, this was just a choice we made to go on live, just for us to spend time with each other and to spend time with everybody else. But don't feel pressured to perform for people. And that's one thing for me, I'm like over it. Like, I don't feel pressured to perform for nobody. I might be on a soapbox, but when it comes to people like asking you for consistency, I'm like, are you consistent? People don't get to tell us how we show up. People don't get to tell you how you show up, on your platform, whatever it is that you do. And people can't judge your consistency when they inconsistent themselves. So that's just my outlook on that. Some people may or may not agree. We're building, and don't nobody get to tell you. I'm speaking to the audience. I'm saying us, but I'm speaking to somebody I'm encouraging right now. Okay. No one gets to tell you how you get to show up. No one gets to tell you how to build. Okay. So when you find those loyal ones, they're going to stick with you. They know you. Those are the relationships that you want to appreciate, you want to hang into, and you want to add value to those people. We ain't forgetting about the one. We don't forget about those people. You see what I'm saying? But no one gets to tell you how you show up in life, especially when they ain't paying your bills. And okay, all that good stuff, because I'll go on a rampant, and that's just the truth. What?
So before we do leave, I do want to give a huge shout out to you and your ministry, the 7-day healing devotional that you did, a transformation healing. Oh my God, it was everything. And if you guys who are watching missed it, go to takandra.com, go to her YouTube channel, and you guys check it out. The book is available. You guys can do this 7-day journey on your own. I just wanted to kind of give you your flowers because I was so proud of you, and I'm always I don't want to use the word amazed, but I am always amazed at how God continues to use you to elevate others, even when you are at a bottom place. And so just keep doing what you're doing. I see
Absolutely.
you, right? We see you, and they see you. All right. So I just wanted you to know that it matters, and it was very much needed. And thank God that there's 7 days in the week, because He can heal us every day of the week
Amen.
if we let Him.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. I appreciate it. It
All right.
very good people showed up. At the end of the day, like I say, I live and I do what I do for the one now. It used to be for masses, but it was like, God, like, let me see how you handle that one. And every time I get confirmation from that one, I'm just like, there you go. There go my one. That's the one that it touched. And that's all that matters. You know, Jesus or the shepherd left the 99 sheep for that one, you know, and that's the mentality that I think we have to have, is we have to do what we do for the one, and the masses, you worry about them later, you know. So thank you. I appreciate you. It was very successful in my sight just because of that one, you know, even though there were others that were inspired by it. And I enjoyed partaking of it myself. So thank you. So you're always
Shout
so
out to the
supportive.
ladies that were all involved in it too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They did such a wonderful job. And just selfless. You know, they took time out of their busy schedules to join me. And so I appreciated that as well. It was very it was amazing. So I enjoyed it. But thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, we'll be back. We don't know when, but we'll be back. And anything else you want to say, babe, before I end it?
Nope, just love, peace, and blessings. Keep your mask on. Enjoy your families through this holiday season. If you come across a PS5 that you don't need, you can send it to us. I'll
Send it to
use
you.
it. Don't worry about it. I'm just playing. Yeah, just send it over to the house.
Yeah, they're expensive. I tried to
I
look.
know, but I don't need it.
They ain't on sale
I know
either.
you did. I know you did, but we don't need it. I don't need no PS5. I'm good. I'm good. No,
You
that's all I
good?
got. That's all I
All
got. We're
right.
praying for you. Thank you for praying for us and with us. And yeah, peace and blessings, man. Just whatever you're going through, get through it. God is there. He's got your hand. Just look up, and that's all it is. Let Him do the heavy lifting.
These seasons don't last always. Storms don't last always. That's for sure. I know everybody
Right.
over this corona. I'm over it. I'm just like, Lord, I'm over it. But this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. So
Absolutely.
thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. And until next time, bye bye.